Right then, welcome everybody to the over 28's round 25 final round here in the over 28's on the Fridays, and we have 11 drivers joining us this weekend, and obviously out here for qualifying, and this weekend out here in Imola for the final round. Big shout out to Peninsula for winning both and wrapping up both of the championships this season round. Obviously I've not really been here for all of it, but I've been here for the last little part, and Peninsula with some brilliant racing that I've seen so far. But with the best part of 17 minutes on the clock here in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, we will get straight into it then and see who is out there first. You can see the weather is horrible. It is absolutely wet out there at the moment. It is Turbo Snail and Giles. I don't know how. I think it's Giles on a lap, or out lap even. And then obviously go around to start their flying laps soon. As I will get the link to the Twitch posted in the in your Discord. As now we see Peninsula, the guy that has wrapped up both championships in this league, is out there for the Williams team trying to put a time on the board. His teammate Giles out there in the P7 at the moment, and we'll see what his first time of the weekend can be. And I will get properly started soon. I'm just really quickly trying to get myself into my Twitch account so we can get the link posted into the main Discord. I'll tell you what, I cannot find it, but across the line then, it is Turbos now, the first driver to put a time on the board. 1 minute 28.4 out here in the wet conditions. First time on the board this weekend for him. And then we will see who it will be next towards the line. Obviously this track being anti-clockwise, bit of a different one compared to the others around the track. It's the Jeffinaut who was going quickest in the middle sector, but then invalidates towards the end. Roadkill is out of the session. Who can we watch? We can watch Peninsula, the world champion in this league, and making his way now round the chicane and towards the end of this lap to turn 18 and 19 here in Imola. And we will see what time he can put on the board for this weekend then, as he makes his way towards the line this weekend. And it is Peninsula, the world champion, who goes on a provisional pole then this weekend by 0.3 of a second. It is a 1:28.1 here in the over 28s for provisional pole so far. Is Giles second, at first even, who goes ahead of his teammates in P1 now. It is provisional pole for Giles, who Peninsula goes round there, but Giles at a 1 minute 28 flat. And Yala Boy in the chat. How are you, mate? It's good to see you. Good. Yeah, mate. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the Twitch link, but it's not working, which is a bit annoying. Not a lot of people in the stream. I know, mate. I've just started it up, and the stream is completely dead this weekend. But at least there will be a, you know, video to watch back on it for everybody on the YouTube after. Yeah, yo, if you could send me the thing on what's it called? Oh, you posted it in the thing, then, man. I will copy that. Thank you very much, and thank you for posting that in there. And Jackie's back, baby. Yes, he is. Someone leaving the server, so you said right. Let's quickly post it in the over 28s. And Charles goes even quicker with a 1 minute 28 flat, and even quicker on that lap around. That is what we love to see over in the over 28s. And I'm just going to quickly send the stream link about so people can watch along. But obviously, here for qualifying, that you're going to have to start paying me for all the socials work I do for you. Oh, mate, honestly, I'm going to have to cut you into some of the money. 10 minutes of qualifying then, ladies and gentlemen. The conditions are still very, very wet out there. It is Giles first from Peninsula, Mesonator third, Turbo Snail fourth, the Jeffinaut fifth, and Dark, who is in sixth so far. We'll see what his teammate Ash can do out there on the track with Kieran in 8 at the moment, and he's on an out lap. Charles across the line. Charles can only do a P7 time so far this weekend. As Giles, even quicker. What is that? Is a time and a half, that is. 1:27.6 on that time. 4/10 quicker than his original time, and he is rapid today. Absolutely rapid. That was crazy. Only 11 drivers get me in. Honestly, I wish you could, but these guys are very, very serious about it, and I respect the hustle. I respect it. As Charles goes 1.2 seconds quicker on that lap, apparently. But he heads over the second sector line, and for Charles it is 1.8 seconds quicker in the middle sector there. And this is a Mercedes that is making its way down towards turns 16 and 17 here in Imola in these very, very soggy conditions this weekend. The Mercedes will go around the final few corners here in Imola, and towards the line it'll be, what time can it be? It is not looking too bad for him, actually, as he comes towards the line now. It'll be a P4 1:28.3 for Charles on that previous lap. And next is a Williams, of Giles, who is going slowly because he's put the work in today already. That is Mesonator with a 1.1 second improvement in the middle sector. And now that McLaren will make their way right towards the line now with a foot planted to the floor. It is Mesonator. Can he go quicker? Yes, he can. To provisional pole. 1:26.6. That is rapid. At the moment, that is quick. And is a whole second quicker than Giles' lap out there on these wet compound tyres. That is absolutely brilliant. And Mezzanator did just put an absolutely beautiful time on the board. And is he going again? He is, but he's very slow. Are these guys over 28 years of age? Why is it called over 28? I don't think everyone's over 28, but I think the concept of it is all of them are like, it's a bit like, yo, imagine it a league full of like Prodigy and Gilksy, if you want to picture it like that, like loads of people like that. That's this league. Get Prod in. I mean, it'd fit perfectly in this one. Ash, half a second quicker. And we'll see what time Mr. Ash can put on the board over the second sector line. 7/10 quickest in the middle sector. Mr. Ash Barker, who we've seen, I think, win the last Grand Prix. Yes, he did. He won the last race here on Friday. And he will now make his way around towards the final corner. It is Mr. Ash Barker, who won last time around. This time, in qualifying, he's trying to go quicker. This is quick. As he crosses the line, it's provisional pole for Mr. Ash Barker. 1:26.5, and it's a 1/10 quicker than Mezzanator. Yo, the only time the commentators ruin the drivers. Yep, it is. Rothwell. Well, not true. There's F1 kids on Sky Sports if you're a Sky Q or Sky Glass customer. Yes. You know what? Speaking of that, I'll be a Sky Glass customer tomorrow when it gets delivered. I'll be able to click the red button finally. Giles out on an outlap at the moment, and Jarl says Inters. Is it time for Inters? Ash was out on the Inters, and that's what Ash managed to do on the Inters. So we will see what times can get punched in on the board today. Crofty like that. Yeah, Crofty's actually my dad. So, you know. Yo, Rothwell's in another one, but I can't remember which one now. ARD, that's it. As Kieran is out there, we've lost two drivers, Icelandic Rob and Roadkill, both of them with no times on the board this weekend. We have 9 people with times, but the Jeffinaut on the Inters this time, 1:26.3, and these times just keep getting quicker and quicker each lap around. Ash is coming out of into the pit lane even. Peninsula, Charles, Turbo Snail, all out on the outlaps at the moment. F1 Kieran disqualified for driving the wrong way. Dark is up by nearly 0.6 of a second. And that is a lovely time from him at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't ruin that one as he's making his way towards the final few corners. It is fastest in the middle sector for Dark in the Aston Martin, as he's going to try and push that car as fast as he can. He really now wants to try and go quicker than a last position spot so far. It is Dark who will go foot to the floor towards the line, and we'll see what the Aston Martin can do from 1:28.1. The track is ramping up, and Dark is to P4 then, 1:27.4. That isn't too bad at all. Yo, Jack is that Dark. Oh, but you know what? When I saw his name, that is actually who I thought of as well. Charles, 2.2 second improvement on that lap, and he's in P7 at the moment. Giles is out there, and Peninsula, the world champion, has invalidated on this lap, sadly. We have the Jeffinaut, who is on provisional pole out here in Imola then, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock for qualifying. And we are having a lovely little qualifying session so far. It's quite nice. We haven't got too many drivers. It's just this little pack. We're going to try and get some good racing from them. And from what I've seen, these drivers could make good racing out of 5 drivers. So it is a very, very good league. And I am very, very happy to be commentating on it for the Friday races, as we have do we have Jeffinaut on a lap? I'm not sure. Ash is out there on an out lap. Mesonator is down on time. Turbo Snail just starting a lap now. Dark is invalidated on that lap. Giles is on his way towards the line. Did he improve? I think. I don't know what. I'm not sure what just happened there. Peninsula is also on a lap, and he heads over the first sector line. Peninsula with a nearly second improvement on that lap around the world champion. Do not underestimate this man as he's making his way up and towards Piratella. Schultz, though, who had a bit of a moment earlier on, makes his way right up to the top. Then Jeffinaut steals it away from him. 1 minute 25.7. Provisional pole back again from the Jeffinaut. It was Schultz's moment for a few moments, and then Jeffinaut stole it away straight away. Majority of people now, most of them out on the lap. Peninsula up by 2.1 seconds in the middle sector. And we'll see where this time can get the Williams car, the world champion, making his way around the penultimate corner, the final few corners, and Peninsula will go foot to the floor then towards the line in the Williams, and little kink to the right hand side. Peninsula from the last to first this weekend. 1 minute 24.9. That is a lovely, lovely time, and the Jeffinaut's improving on this lap. Mesonator improved by 5/10. Charles is down. Turbo Snail up by 8/10 of a second on that lap. Ash is on an out lap, and Dark is on an 8/10 improvement at the moment, and we'll see where he can put himself across the line. Slight kick to the right, and it will not be amazing. It'll be P7 for the Aston Martin, both Aston Martins, 7 and 8, and at the back at the moment. But you got to remember, Icelandic Rob, Ash Barker even is on a flyer lap now, and we'll see if he's improving. Yes, he is by 1 second there. That'll bring his time down very, very nicely. Hopefully he can find some more time throughout this lap though. And that is the end of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. As we watch the final few laps, yo, I'm going to go for a shower. Have a good shower, mate. And I will hopefully see you back in chat later on. Schultz has finished qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the pit lane. Now Turbo Snail's down, will not be improving on this lap at the moment. It is the lap of the weekend then for Ash. Peninsula towards the line. Let's see. Mesonator at the very end. Mesonator steals away provisional pole from Peninsula, who will not do anything about that one. Giles across the line to only P2. Mesonator steals it at the end. The Jeffinaut's down. Schultz will not be putting a time on the board. Who have we got? We have got Ash to P4 at the very end. 1 minute 1:24.9. That is a lovely time. The Jeffinaut, who is down on time, will only be able to do P5 at least. Dark's in the pit lane. Turbo will not be putting a good lap on the board. And ladies and gentlemen, your pole sitter is Mesonator this weekend. And that is the end of qualifying. Mesonator on pole position this weekend here in Imola. And that is what we love to see indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, finishing results then for the qualifying session here in Imola. It is Mesonator who steals away provisional pole at the very end. Then Giles to P2 and Peninsula, the world champion, to P3 this weekend, and you can only manage P3 in qualifying because it is Mesonator and Giles ahead of him. The two Williams on the first and second row there. It is Ash who comes across the line to come fourth, Jeffinaut fifth, Schultz sixth, Turbo Snail 7, Dark 8, Icelandic Rob 9, Gazelle Roadkill 10, and Kieran, after being disqualified, starts at the back of the grid. Did you stop talking, or is the mic not picking you up? I'll probably just stop talking, mate. I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? Should be able to hear me now. A lot of love, Rothwell, for sticking around in the chat. The lone viewer for the over 28's league tonight. But you know, it's all fun and games. It's all fun, and hopefully we'll be getting into it soon. I'm pretty sure we do have a break in the over 28's. Anyway, Rothwell, how did you do? How did you do in the last race? I can't remember where you came. Did you do very well? I can't even remember who won it. To be fair, that's how much commentary I do at the moment. I barely even remember anything about the ALD race. P9. Oh, fair enough. Don't know why. Do you know how well you're doing in the championship? Oliver won it. Oh yeah. Oh, it is very, very sunny out here in Imola. And obviously the rain has finally cleared away. And we have just got now about 50 minutes of racing ahead of us. About 45 minutes of racing action coming up soon. I joined halfway through, but currently P13, so feeling good. Fair enough, fair enough. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I don't know, I've been at ARD for a good like 4 or 5 weeks now, I think. You know what? That's got me curious. Let me check. Hang on. Because ARD was my first, like, when I started doing proper commentary, like, proper getting into it. ARD was one of the first. So it was. I've been doing it. I've been doing it. You were at my first race. Oh, so we joined at the same time. Oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, Rothwell, were you I don't know if you were there, but in ARD, I think they were doing like before you could join, they had to do like tester races, and before I started commentating in it, I was gonna be a driver, right? And before there was like a I think there was like a tester race for like drivers, like a few hours before the first race. Yeah, well I was in that. I don't know if you was in it as well, but I was in it driving, and then I ended up commentating that night anyway. But I don't know if he was there, yeah, but I was in the trial race. As ladies and gentlemen, then we will have the formation lap here in Monza. Monza? I am in the complete wrong side. It is Imola with Mezzinator, Giles, Peninsula, the top three, and this looks lovely. This track does at the moment. I still do them. Once you get a roll, you don't see that chat anymore. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. I was going to say, I haven't seen that chat for a while. Yeah, so ARD, mate. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done 4 ARD races, so yeah, 4. We've been in it 4 weeks. It's crazy, a month already. That's gone quick. But there is the 11 drivers this weekend. Obviously not a lot, but with the races, with these races even, they never fail to put on a good race. And like I mentioned earlier, there could be 3 of them, 4 of them, and the racing would be brilliant. We have 11 of them this weekend with 32 laps ahead of us, and Mr. Mezzinator, who will be leading them away. Rothwell, you missed Kota, which is where I got a podium. Oh yeah, I did miss 1 race, didn't I? Yeah, so it's been 5 weeks. Of course, you're unwell. Just glad you're back. Yeah, of course. Was that? So I did ARD this week. Oh yeah, because I was unwell the other week as well. And then like last week, I was like really unwell in the hospital. That's the bad thing about being a commentator is if you get really unwell, you cannot do it at all. Like, it's just your voice is not in the right place if you get really unwell. But I am all good now, back and recovered and ready to get racing here in Imola. Mezzanator will be the first driver to line up on the grid, then behind Giles, and then comes Peninsula. Ash slots up there, Jeffinor, Charles, Turbo Snell, Dark, Icelandic Rob, Roadkill, and Kieran rounds off the grid. As the lights build up to 5 lights here in Imola. As it is, lights out, and away we go for a final time here in the over 28 on Friday. It's Mezzanator with the dream start off the line so far, but Giles is going to try and challenge him into turn 1 then around the outside with that Williams. The other Williams from behind has lost the position already. It is Ash Barker who's made his way up to P3, the world champion, dropping down to P4, but up ahead it is Giles challenging on the race leader, on Mezzanator even. Mezzanator holding on to it well, but the Williams is doing absolutely brilliantly at trying to put the pressure on Ash Barker, a man who's doing it even better, who is trying to make a move on Giles on lap 1 out of 32. It is the Aston Martin drag racing with the Williams then on the first lap, and the Aston Martin has to concede just on that one there, but now tries back again down the inside. He cannot get it done once again, has to slow down and concede that position. Giles stays up to P2. Peninsula is dropping back at the start of this race. Was not expecting this at all. But up ahead, it is still Mezzanator from Giles, Ash, Charles, Peninsula, Turbo Snell, the Jeffinaut, who has a bit of a moment there, who loses now positions to the Alpha Tauri, who goes around the outside. Icelandic Rob, so does the Aston Martin, who goes through. At the back, there's a move going on as well between Roadkill and Kieran. Roadkill just gets through there and manages to get through past Kieran. Up ahead, there's more moves going on as well. The Alpha Tauri trying to make a move on the Aston Martin, but Mezzanator goes quickest down the main straight and already pulled a gap of 0.6 of a second between him and Giles. Rothwell, Ash Barker, my random prediction. That is a very, very... It's not bold at all. That's a very good guess because Ash is a good driver here, both in GFR and GFR, which I commentate on with him in, and the over 28s, which I also do. And Mr. Ash Barker, who won out last race, is now gunning for once again another race win, and he's on the backside of Giles. Giles goes a bit on the bit wide on the exit of that corner there, and now you see Ash, the time that he gained on the backside of him, the gap now 0.2. I'd say even less than that on the backside now of Giles. Then down into the chicane we go. And he is absolutely stuck to the backside of that Williams of Giles. Obviously, all of this is really helping Mezzanator to stay ahead. But for now, we are going to focus on this little battle here, this little pod of Ash and Giles, who are still wing to wing. And Ash is gaining on the backside of Giles. Would there be enough road, though, to make the move work? There will not be into turn 1. He has to stay back there. But Ash will still continue on, and he's gunning down for that position. It is Mezzanator still up ahead. The gap now 0.7, but now we see Ash gaining on the backside of Giles once again. Is this how we see the move? Maybe. Not through there, but he is still holding on, and maybe, just maybe down one of the back straights, we might be able to get a bit of a cheeky move, maybe through here. We see him gain a lot of time through there. You know, we saw that last lap as well. He's very, very close going into this chicane. As now, Giles still holding on. It is half a second between Giles and Barker. There's somebody's round at the back. It is Kieran, who in the Mercedes has gone round here in Imola. Up ahead though, one Aston Martin trying to make moves, the other Aston Martin trying to defend off. The Jeffinaut of the McLaren then up here, and the Jeffinaut now on the backside of the Aston Martin. He is definitely going to get through here. The speed he has on him. He goes to the outside, down the main straight, and through goes Jeffinaut on Dark just there. Ash still pushing on the Williams up ahead, and maybe we see him move soon. The gap now 0.3 of a second. It'll be nice to see him move if we can. But Ash there, a bit iffy on the exit. And overall will not help his time at the moment, but he is still going to push on, and somebody's going slow at the back. It is Roadkill going a bit slow just there at the back so far. You see Ash making the time once again through there. The gap now 2/10 of a second, the best part of 3/10 actually, and he did lose a bit through there actually, and it's not as good as last lap around them. Through the chicane we go. Rob on the backside of Dark, Dark on the backside of Jeffinault, and Jeffinault not really on the backside of anybody so far. And still up ahead, it is Mezzanator from Giles, then from Ash, who tries to get through. The first time we've seen him try and really get through there past the Williams, and I thought he was going to do it there, but he has to stay back just a little bit on lap 5 out of 32 here in Imola, and Ash will really keep pushing. He will not stop pushing at the moment to try and get through. And up to Giles then on these next few laps. He is gunning for this position. He wants to get through as quick and as easy as he can. Now, this is where we see Ash does make up the time on Giles. That is the time I mean. Now, Ash will send it to the inside, and Ash makes the move. We was not expecting it round there, but he gets the move done, and that is simply lovely for Mr. Ash Barker. And up to second place he goes. Now on the next position is Mezzanator, and we will see if Ash can catch up with him. That was lovely. Oh, the McLaren with a bit of a iffy exit there on the exit, and we'll see if Dark can maybe catch up to the guy that overtook him earlier. Dark on the back, on the main straight even. Dark with the slipstream on the Jeffinault. The Jeffinault cannot do anything. It's a sitting duck, and Dark flies through. Leaves Jeffinault in the dark, and he is in the background of that scene. And up ahead, Mezzanator still leading from Ash, who is now 6/10 behind him, making that time slowly but surely, now 7/10 and rising. At the moment, Dark with a 3-second time penalty on the 6th lap of this Grand Prix. Kieran's having a shocking race so far at the back. Hopefully if there's a safety car, he can make his way back up. Okay then, that is the biggest jinx I've done in a while. Safety car comes out on lap 6 out of 32. It is Turbo Snail who is out of this session. And on lap 6, we do have the safety car with 10 drivers remaining here in the Over 28's Friday League. It is the final round of the season, and drivers going into the pit lane now. Mezzanator, Ash, Giles, Peninsula, Charles. Everybody will follow the opposition's moves, and everybody will be in the pit lane. I have not seen this for a while. The whole grid in the pit lane together. Apart from Icelandic Rob, who stays out and gains trap position, but it's annoying you can't spectate DNF cars. Yeah, it is. You mean when they crash out or stuff? Like, and they're in the wall or something. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean, because when they crash out, it's you kind of, if you didn't catch it on the stream, for me, I've got to try and like find a car near it, you know what I mean, to get the camera angle from, but it is what it is. Lap 7 out of 32 now. It is Rob who stayed out gain that track position. And speaking of all of that, we will get tyres up actually. It is Rob with a 6-lap-old hard compound tyres fitted onto that AlphaTauri. It is the Mezzanator with the new mediums. Ash, Giles, Peninsula, Charles, Dark, Jeffinaut, Roadkill, all with brand new tyres on here for the safety car restart. Kieran, who did not pit and is trying his very best to catch up to the safety car. He did pit 3 laps ago though. But Rob is very brave, and we'll see how well that plays out for him. We will have one more lap under the safety car, and then should be getting racing once again. And it's still Rothwell in the chat, the lone viewer at the moment. I'm wondering when Jarl gets back from his shower, Rothwell. I wonder when. he should have been watching it in the shower. Let's be real. Feel like there's always an opportunity for carnage when someone's on used tyres against new. Oh, absolutely, there really is, and I am very, very excited to get going once again. Baker Gaming, evening, buddy. How are you, mate? It's good to see you. Are you a commentator as well? Do you do commentary as well? Or are you just a racer? I've seen you posting your Twitch around sometimes. That's why. Just wondering. I've seen your name. I've seen your Twitch. I think. Wednesday drive with this lot. Oh, fair enough, mate. And we have Baker Gaming in the chat. It's good to see you, mate. And you're keeping Rothwell company. He's been alone for a while. I stream 5 days races. Oh yeah, fair enough. And are we getting racing? Safety car in the pit lane. And now it is Icelandic Rob that will lead them away from Mezzanator in second. Mezzanator, remember, is on the fresh tyres then here in Imola. And Mezzanator will be on the backside with the slipstream. Which way will he go? To the inside or the outside? It's the inside for the McLaren. And he is through and up past Icelandic Rob. And gets that move done on the safety car restart. Very, very easy. Absolutely brilliant. And Mezzanator regains the lead of the Italian Grand Prix then. Icelandic Rob second, who loses a position to Ash already on the 9th lap of this Grand Prix. Now Giles will try and get a piece on that one as well, if he can make his way up. But Mezzanator got the start done and dusted brilliantly, and it is P1 leading for him so far. Ash obviously managed to get through, and Icelandic Rob now is under pressure from Giles behind, and Peninsula, his teammate, also joining up to that little battle soon as well. But it is Giles to the inside of Icelandic Rob, and up through past him now. The Williams gets through and up to P3. Next on the hit list is Peninsula to try and take down Icelandic Rob on the main straight. Go on to lap 9 out of 32 now, and it is Mezzanator who goes quickest, but Peninsula with that speed then, the speed advantage on the AlphaTauri, down the main straight, and the Williams flies past through the AlphaTauri up to P4, and a step closer to his teammate and the top spots there. Now on the backside, Dark on the backside of Charles. It is Dark who will be in the slipstream of that Mercedes, and we are definitely going to see a move happen soon then, as Dark tries his car to the outside. Can Dark make a move around the outside of the Mercedes? He cannot. He stays back on that lap around. Dark now with the slipstream on the backside of the Mercedes. The Mercedes obviously on the backside of Icelandic Rob as well. The two ahead battling is going to really help Dark then. The Mercedes goes a little bit wide there. The Aston Martin is trying to pick up on the pieces. The Mercedes sends his car down the inside of the AlphaTauri because of all of this battling. Can Dark manage to pry his way through the both of them? Schultz hits Icelandic Rob, sends him a bit off balance. The off balanceness gets Dark through as well. Can Dark send it on the Mercedes down the inside? He thought the move was there, but he has to concede on that one. DRS is now back again once enabled. And the AlphaTauri, is the AlphaTauri into the wall? The AlphaTauri is retired. Is that another safety car? Yes, it is. And Icelandic Rob is out of the session on lap 10 out of 32. And we have 9 drivers left in this race. Well, I was not expecting another safety car that quick, ladies and gentlemen, but hey ho, we have another one. My controller just stopped working for some reason, but we are all good and continue like nothing happens at all. With the 9 drivers remaining, and now we have 2 of you in the stream chat, Bakey Gaming and Rothwell. Hope you boys are doing alright. Thank you for keeping me company. You know what, this actually feels really weird because normally when I'm streaming, especially with like ARD and stuff, there's normally get like 15 in there sometimes, 15, 16, and when you got that many, it's quite good because there's a lot of conversation going. But thank you very much for both sticking around for the over 28s at the moment. And there is 3 drivers who have not yet caught up. It's Peninsula, Roadkill, and Kieran, who all need to catch up. But it's Mezzanator up there in P1 at the moment. I would have raced, but was half an hour later. I'm coming home minutes back. Oh, fair enough, mate. Is there less drivers then because it's the end of the season? So because obviously I've got experience in owning leagues and I've got one. Still, I've had a league for a while now, to be fair. And I always find that. Well, I mean, we've just finished season 6, and I always find that when it comes to the end of the season, it's like always the last race. Literally nobody turns up because all the championships are wrapped up, and it's just, you know, there's literally about 10 people that get there on the last race. But it's alright. Sometimes the Fridays are hit or miss. Oh, fair enough. Oh, would you say Wednesdays are a lot more full? Oh, that makes sense actually, because I always get Ash messaging saying like, today would you be able to commentate, or there's not enough drivers today, so that's fair enough actually. But the safety car will be coming in once again, and I will stop rambling. As now Mezzanator will get going straight away, and forget Mezzanator, it's Ash and Giles that are having a bit of battle at the start. Giles trying to make a move on the Aston Martin. I think he might be able to just go and do it then into turn 1. Giles the Williams up and up into P2 on lap 13 out of 32, and we are racing once again here in Imola. Ash will not be having any of that. Ash will send his car back again down the inside, but cannot get through just on that lap around. And on lap 13 out of 32, it is these two actually having a scrap. It's Dark and Schultz. Dark around the outside, and now one step closer to his teammates in P4 at the moment. Mezzanator got the start predicted and brilliantly sorted out the start of that Grand Prix safety car restart. It's Mezzanator with 1.4 seconds. The gap between him and second. Giles in second. Look at all the cars at the back. This is mental. Charles side by side with Peninsula. Peninsula just about gets through. Number 57 on that car. And now on the backside, Schultz on the backside of Peninsula, the world champion. He cannot get through just there. And the Williams manages to stay ahead. We'll see if Jeffenor can do anything on the backside of the Mercedes. You've got Roadkill as well. And Kieran all caught up this time around because of the two safety cars. That is what they needed to get back in the game, and they will be happy about that one indeed. It is Mezzanator up ahead, 1.8 seconds. These two scrapping away still then, the two Aston Martins in 3 and 4. They didn't have a good qualifying. Did they not? I can't remember what happened in qualifying actually. They didn't for a bit of it. But it is Ash trying to make a move on Giles on lap 14, and there's no move coming out just there. As now Ash sees an opportunity. Ash will try and capitalise on the opportunity, and we'll see if he can get through now, going up to here, and we'll see through Piratella on the way down. Now, and on the backside of the Williams, he will push his car as much as he can. The Williams, a bit iffy there through that corner. It brings Ash right up. He executes that brilliantly. It is Ash on the backside of Giles, now pushing the car to the outside. Can he get through? The Williams and the Aston Martin having a battle. The Aston Martin with a shocking line through the corner, and that was not brilliant at all. He needs to get through. He's getting held up. Yes, he is. I've just seen, I think Peninsula got through past Dark just there, with a bit of a scrap going on even. But it is still Mezzanator. And the gap now 2.8 seconds, him leading by. That is exactly what he wants. 3.1, and the gap's getting bigger. Now, Mr. Ash Barker on the backside of the Williams. He's gaining, but it's not enough to get through past the Williams on lap 15 out of 32. The Williams a bit slow on the exit. This is exactly what Ash wants. Ash now trying to the inside of the Williams. He has to stay back. You can see it on that one. He doesn't want to get too aggressive. Kieran, who has gone round as well. Now Ash is setting his car around the outside of Giles. Now to the inside. He's trying his best to get through, but it's not as easy as it sounds to be when you speak about it. Then it's Ash who is rapid. Ash is my teammate on Wednesday. He's rapid. Ash is rapid, mate. Ash is absolutely rapid. I've commentate for him on a league on Thursdays as well, and he is very quick. And now he's on the backside of Giles, and he is being held up by Giles as well at the moment, and we'll see if he can do his best to maybe get through in the next few laps time. Going on to half race distance next, and that first half has gone extremely quick here in Imola. Now down the straight, finally, at about the third or fourth time of asking, Mr. Ash Barker manages to find his feet and get through past Giles and Peninsula there. Peninsula gets through past his teammate, and now the world champion is set free, and now onto the backside of Ash. This is Ash's chance to try and pull his best times out of the pocket and make his way up towards first position. See if he can snatch that away from Mezzanator. He has gone quickest in the first sector. Ash Barker is proving some brilliant pace so far. I think Peninsula on the 4-lap hold softs. He will have a bit of speed on them at the moment. Dark with a 3-second time penalty. Dark with a bit of iffy on the exit there. It is Jeffenor who tries to capitalise on that. The McLaren on the outside of the Aston Martin trying to get through. Kieran with a 3-second time penalty. The McLaren even cannot get through past the Aston Martin just there. Kieran's not having a great one. He did catch up, but he's gone round once again. It's not too great for him so far. I hate to break it to you, Rothwell, but Ash is not pulling away, and I hate to break it to you with this one as well. Ash is about to get overtaken by Peninsula, who will send that car through in the Williams up to P2 here on lap 17 out of 32. And next up will be his teammate of Giles to try and make his way back up there, but he is dropping back, so clearly he doesn't really have the pace to stay up there. And what racing we are experiencing so far, ladies and gentlemen. With only 9 drivers on the grid, and the racing's still great, to be fair, for saying what it is. I mean, up ahead it is Dark and Jeffinor, and we'll see if we see any move happening between them in the next few laps' time. Now it is Dark with Jeffinor once again, and towards the main straight we go. Maybe we see him catch up to him down the straight. We will see if anything will come out of this one, as all of them made their way down the main straight. And the gap now between Mezzanator and Peninsula is 1.4 seconds, and it is closing in. Peninsula is absolutely brilliant out there today. He really is, on the 18th lap out of 32, and he's catching up. He really is catching up on Mezzanator, and I'm not sure how long he will be able to hold this one for. And only 3 drivers with time penalties at the moment. It is Mezzanator, funnily enough, who is actually leading the Grand Prix. It is Dark and it is Kieran. So you will see how all of the time penalties play into the scorecards and timings at the very end. Gazelle, Roadkill with a 3-second time penalty just there. And now we have the trainer drivers coming down towards the final few corners here in Imola. It is still Mezzanator leading, but I have to break it to you. The gap is now 1.1 seconds, and Peninsula is gaining and gaining. Look at how fierce he looks then. On his way down the main straight, and he is he is absolutely rapid, Peninsula. He really is. Let's face it. He's very, very quick. And now the gap, 9/10 of a second, 8/10 now, and he is gaining on the backside of Mezzanator at the moment. This is exactly what we want to see at the moment. The soft compound tyres against the mediums, and the softs are proving to work brilliantly here in Imola so far. Mezzanator goes off the track over there, and Peninsula manages to go through, capitalises on the situation, and takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. That is what we love to see. Mezzanator drops back after losing the position there, and he did not want that one at all. The gap already 6/10 of a second, and now, I hate to break it to you with this one, Peninsula is now broke free, and he is now on the road to glory once again on the final round here on Friday over 28's. He's had such a good season, and now he's out there and trying to prove himself even more. To the inside, Mezzanator is making the move back on Peninsula. I was not expecting that one. He manages to get back up after making a mistake in front of the Williams driver, and the Williams tries to go back through there, but he cannot do it. And that is absolutely sensational. Mezzanator on the 13-lap-old mediums, who made a mistake, went onto the gravel last lap around. Peninsula manages to get through. Then Mezzanator makes it back up and manages to get back through to lead the Italian Grand Prix in the over 28s. Lap 20 out of 32. There is 12 laps to go here in Imola, and we'll see if Peninsula can break free once again through to the top on the backside of Mezzanator. 2/10 the gap at the moment, and he is closing in on him. He is really closing in on him then as they make their way down to the final few corners here in Imola, and you can see the McLaren nearing Peninsula, getting closer as they make their way around to the main straight. And into the pit lane goes Peninsula on the 8-lap hold soft. So does Ash, who follows him in. Is that Rain? That is Rain. That is Rain that I see then as Mezzanator stays out. And who was expecting rain? We had it in qualifying, but I was not expecting to have it in the race 2, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have the rain. How the track, how the turntables even. Yep, how it does indeed. And we do have now the intermediates coming out for Peninsula and Ash, who are fighting out of the pit lane. Ash through past Peninsula on that lap around. Now Kieran's in the pit lane on the full wets. I'm not sure that was the right decision, mate. But on the full wets for him at the moment. When will the front runners decide to come into the pit lane? That is a big, big question. And on lap 21 out of 32, ladies and gentlemen, the rain has started to pour. The rain is coming down. Kieran goes on the full wets. We have intermediates coming out for the majority of the drivers so far. It is Mezzanator who manages to stick it out for another lap. Giles decides to not come in. So does Jeffinaut. Dark doesn't come in. Gazelle, who will go in on the 10-lap old soft, so I do not blame him. He will go on to the intermediates most likely. Ash obviously out there on the inters and working well for him so far. And we'll see if he can maybe make his way back up there once the drivers make their way into the pit lane. Mezzanator stayed out once again, and so did the drivers behind him that followed him here today. As Ash and Gazelle, never mind, sorry, Gazelle goes into the pit lane, obviously on the intermediates. Now 3 drivers on the inters and 1 driver on the wet. How's Kieran doing on them wets? Are they really working well for him, or they're not doing well? I wouldn't say they're doing great for him on this kind of weather. It's not raining as bad as it should be with them sort of tyres on. As now we will watch Mezzanator head over the second sector line into the final sector of this lap, and we will see if that McLaren decides to put himself in the pit lane. Will it be box time for Mezzanator? Schultz with a 3-second time penalty. And Mezzanator around the final corner. Will he go into the pit lane? No, he sticks it out for another lap, and he thinks that he's fine on these dry tyres. Obviously, the rain's coming down, but it really isn't that bad at the moment. Ash, Peninsula, Gazelle, and Kieran all on the wets. Schultz, Dark, Jeffinaut, Giles, and Mezzanator all on the dries, but the safety car comes out. Kieran retires, and ladies and gentlemen, we are left with 8 here in Imola. And that is a 3rd safety car here in Imola. I was not expecting 3 safety cars, but we have 3 safety cars. And for the drivers that didn't go into the pit lane for the inters, they are going to be thankful, very, very thankful, that they did not. But the people that it won't work well for is Mr. Ash and Gazelle, and the drivers that went into the pit lane. But the drivers that didn't worked brilliantly for them then, as Mezzanator is making his way round towards the start-finish straight soon, and he will get a cheeky free pit stop in then on them 16-lap old mediums, I can guarantee it. So will Giles. Played perfectly into Mez and Giles, and yes, it has, mate, absolutely. It really has. Gazelle with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's a bit rough for Gazelle, but he'll have to go serve that one soon. Mezzanator into the pit lane, followed by the Williams of Giles. Giles with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That changes it up a little bit at the moment. And Mezzanator comes out ahead, obviously. Giles will come out in second. Nearly gets overtaken by his teammate there. Out of the pit lane, but does not. And the order will stay the same from there. We are left with 8. We have lost 3. Kieran, Rob, and Turbo Snail. There's a big variety of tyres on there. It's wets, the hards, and the mediums that they all retired on. But obviously, it is Gazelle into the pit lane, but with this rain, we've seen everybody go on to the inters in this race. And we should be probably getting racing on lap 25 to lap 26. So just watch out for that one. Here, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very, very good race start, hopefully. And obviously, with the wet conditions, it would change it up just a little bit. We've seen the drivers kind of in the wet. There was some drivers better than the others, and then in the dry, obviously, it's a completely different story. So in the wet, we should get some different, a bit of mix of grid, hopefully. As the drivers make their way round onto the start-finish straight, and Gazelle Roadkill is right at the back, spinning round on them intermediates towards the end of Sector 2 just there. And on to lap 25 we head, and it is Mesonator from Giles, Peninsula, the Jeffinaut, Dark, Charles, Ash and Roadkill is who we have left in today's race. Follow-wise, we're on 54 followers. Need one more, and one more for 55. 54 is not too bad. Started this about 2 weeks ago, I think, this channel. I will take that indeed. Anyway, is it still Rothwell and Bakey in the chat? Are you guys still sticking around throughout this whole race, with the 8 drivers remaining? And to be fair, for saying how many drivers have been, it's not been too bad racing at all. In today's race, I am here. Hello, Rothwell. Thank you very much. As the drivers make their way around, and safety car will not be coming. Well, actually, we don't know. Actually, safety car might be coming at the end of this lap. Nope, it'll be going around once more probably, unless it's a late call now. It is a late call, and the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. And on lap 25, going on to lap 26, ladies and gentlemen, it's the final round of the Over 28's Friday League, and we are getting ready to go racing again here in Imola. It's Mesonator that will lead them away from Giles, then from Peninsula, and on to the main straight we go. When will that McLaren pounce? Now is the time, and Mesonator gets off the line brilliantly. The rain is now coming down a lot heavier, as you can see, downpouring on the track, but Mesonator gets the start timed brilliantly, and Giles cannot do anything about that one. Indeed, then it's Mesonator from Giles from Peninsula, and no position changes down here into turn 1 so far. Gazelle in the pit lane already, and now on the backside, it is Ash on the backside of Charles. Ash has been doing so well this race. He's now in P7. He's going to be wanting to make positions up if he can do towards the end of this Grand Prix. Only 6 laps to go here in Imola at the moment. It's Mesonator still leading him in the 6.5 second 10th gap even between him and Giles. In the background, the 2 Aston Martins come in from Dark and from Ash Barker just there. Then comes Charles at the back, and Roadkill at the very, very back at the moment. The 34-second gap between him and 7th position. Giles with a 3-second time penalty. Speaking of that, we will get the time penalties up on the screen. An 8-second for Giles. 8 seconds is not ideal at all. He will go right down to the bottom. At the end of this Grand Prix, he will not be happy about that one at all. Mesonator with a 3-second. As it stands, Peninsula will take... Oh, that was a bad voice crack. Jesus Christ. Will take the race win this weekend. Now, he won't actually. The times are changing too much, but if he can get himself within that gap, it'll be Peninsula's win this weekend. The world champion trying to prove himself even more. And Mezzanator from Giles from Peninsula. But now Peninsula might get overtaken by the Jeffinauts, who was trying to get through past the Williams there. But the Peninsula just brakes a bit later, outbrakes him, and manages to stay ahead on that lap around. Lap 27 out of 32, ladies and gentlemen, nearing the end of the Grand Prix. And what moves have we got going on then? That into the pit lane? Yes, it is. Roadkill back into the pit lane. What are we seeing? Why is he going into the pit lane once again? It is Roadkill into the pits here in Imola. And with only a few laps of racing to go, we will try and make the best of what we've got. Ash with a 3-second time penalty there for a few warnings, and lap 27 out of 32 going on to lap 28. We have 4 laps to go here in Imola, and Mezzanator is proving that he deserves to be on that top step so far. The gap 1.6 seconds. He is clearly quicker in the wet than Giles is. The DRS is now once again enabled. Surely the rain isn't too bad then if DRS is now enabled, and we have DRS in the wet so far. But it is Mezzanator with a 1.2 second gap between him and Giles. Jeffinaud finally through past Peninsula. Peninsula bins it on the gravel there, down to the back of the grid pretty much. That is not ideal. That is not ideal at all for the world champion. And he drops right down to P7. That is not what Peninsula wanted. He was in contention of the race win with that one, and he drops right back down. And he will not be happy about that one so far. McLaren and Williams are 6 points between them for constructors. And as it stands, McLaren will beat Williams on the constructors title and claim second in the World Championship standings. And we'll have to see if that will actually play out and come true tonight, because obviously penalties will change up the order quite a lot. As on to lap 29, and Mezzanator 2.7 seconds between him and Giles. Now Giles is dropping back. He really is, and he doesn't want to be dropping back because he's got an 8-second penalty on his shoulders, and that is not what he wants at all. Ash is going to have to make his way up there. At the minute, he's probably guaranteed a P3, but I'm not sure actually, because Jeffinaud's 1.1 seconds behind him. So we'll have to see what the timings are like as they cross the line. As it stands, Mezzanator will claim the race win, because obviously Giles with an 8-second time penalty, then Ash behind with 4 seconds. And it's even more if you add on the time of Giles. So it'll be Mezzanator's race win tonight if he can come across the line and claim that one. He's doing a brilliant race so far, proving exactly why he should be here. And this is what we love to see here in the over 28s, the final round this weekend on the Friday. And Mezzanator is going to be going on to the Sector 3 now, and towards the end of the lap, towards lap 30 here in Imola. And behind there is Dark and Jeffinaud, who are probably the closest at the moment, but there will be nothing going on between them at the moment. And on to lap 30 we go. And the gap between him and Giles is 3 seconds now. He did not want that one at all. Gap 3 seconds, and that has got bigger and bigger, and it keeps getting bigger each lap. Now 2.9 seconds, and no more time penalties are being put on the board. But as it stands, it will be the McLaren boys that will outscore the Williams boys and claim P2 in the World Championship standings at the end of the Friday races this weekend. Round 25 rounds. You guys have been racing for a while during this season, but I respect the hustle, I really do. With my own league, we did season 1 and we did like 24 races, and that it takes a while. But it is commitment, and it's what these guys are here and love to do. And Roadkill at the back and spinning round once again. The gap now 1 minute between him and Peninsula. That is not a good thing to see. But now the McLaren of Mezzanator towards the final corner once again. The final few corners here in Imola, and putting himself across the line to start the penultimate lap of this weekend here in Imola. And there is nothing going on at all anymore. Nothing at all. Peninsula, who did have that spin round and had a bit of a moment, spins around obviously earlier onto the gravel, now finds himself behind Charles, who's actually in P7 at the moment, and now on the back side of Charles. Can he catch up with him in the wet before the end of this corner? He might be able to. Round past Charles. Charles moves over the side for him, and Peninsula manages to get through up to P6 now, trying to get the points in the championship. Peninsula, Dark with a 3-second time penalty, more time penalties on the board. It would have been the Williams drivers that would have come out ahead with the World Championship standings earlier on. But obviously, as Peninsula binned it, it's kind of ruined it. And now, as it stands, the McLaren boys will be taking that one away from them at the moment. As now we head to Mezzanator. The McLaren driver, who has held up a brilliant race in the defence from him, has been absolutely lovely today. The gap between him and Giles, 3.2 seconds, as Mezzanator crosses the line with that orange McLaren and starts the final lap of this weekend here in Imola for the over 28s. The final lap of this weekend and the final lap of this season for over 28s. On Friday, it is round 25, along 25 rounds, 25 weeks, and Mezzanator is going to be the guy to round off this season at the moment, and hopefully he does not bin it, and I do not put a commentator's curse on him towards the end of this lap. By the end of this lap, he might even lap Roadkill. Roadkill's had a shocking few laps and managed to spin himself around quite a lot. Jack Crossley, aka F1's Peter Drury. That's a very big compliment, Jesus Christ. And it is Mezzanator, who through the final chicane here in Imola, a bit iffy on the exit there, but it does not matter at all, because even with the time penalties, it's nothing for Mezzanator. Nothing will phase him. Nothing phases this man at all then, as he makes his way in that orange McLaren around the final few corners here in Imola. This is the guy that will round off the over 28 season. Mezzanator puts in the work, and it works out for him this weekend. Mezzanator to win the Italian Grand Prix from Ash, from Giles, and then Jeffinaut to cross the line for the McLaren boys. Takes P4 and takes second in the World Championship for McLaren. That is what we love to see. Peninsula 5th after having a bit of a spin round at the end. Charles to take P7, and Roadkill, it'll take him a while, but Roadkill will take P8 on the grid. And ladies and gentlemen, what a lovely season it has been, and thank you for letting me commentate on the end of the season for the last few races. And I've got some good news. I will be back for next season for a full season contract, so it'll be nice to see you all once again here in the over 28s. And finally, after a long lap, Roadkill makes his way around the final corner to cross the line and take P8. Rothwell, if I don't catch you before, have a good Christmas, Jack. GG's, Mezzinator. Have a good Christmas, Rothwell. Have a good Christmas. And I will see you in ARD whenever the next race is after Christmas, mate. Thank you for being around today. Have a good one, mate. And Ash Barker takes the driver of the day here in Imola. And now we have the podium celebrations. And the finishing results then for the Italian Grand Prix here in Imola, ladies and gentlemen. It is Mezzinator, the British driver, with a brilliant race this weekend. It is the All-Brit 1 and 2 this weekend. McLaren for Mezzinator P1 and Barker second for Aston Martin then. Here's Giles in P3, Jeffinaut 4, Peninsula 5th, Dark 6, Schultz 7 and Gazelle Roadkill 8. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking around. It's been a lovely, lovely season that I commentated on for the end of it, and I hope you enjoyed it very, very much. I hope I made the races a bit more interesting with my commentary, and I will be back next season to do it all again for you, but for the full season, and that'll be an absolute pleasure. But thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week. See you in a bit. It won't be next week, but it will be next season. See you in a bit.